This is the moment of embarking. All auspicious signs are in place. In the beginning, all things are hopeful. We prepare ourselves to start anew. Though we may be intent on the magnificent journey ahead, all things are contained in this first moment. Our optimism, our faith, our resolution, and our innocence. In order to start, we must make a decision. This decision is a commitment to daily self-cultivation. We must make a strong connection to our inner selves. Outside matters are superfluous. Alone and naked, we negotiate all of life's travails. Therefore, we alone must make something of ourselves, transforming ourselves into the instruments for experiencing the deepest spiritual essence of life. Once we make our decision, all things will come to us. Auspicious signs are not a superstition, but a confirmation. They are a response. And it is said, if one chooses to pray to a rock with enough devotion, even that rock will come alive. In the same way, once we choose to commit ourselves to spiritual practice, even the mountains and valleys will reverberate to the sound of our purpose. Good morning. This is Sunday, February 8th. And for the next 30 days, I will try to upload a daily video where I do read a page from Daily Meditations, Tao Daily Meditations. And I'm going to add the second half to each video in which I will provide an interpretation of that particular day as it applies to a life and a framework of thinking of a performing musician, that is, anyone who works on oneself and who masters a craft or prepares a piece of music, whatever it is that we do. It's not limited just to the music. I do have a script to keep these videos a bit as concise as they can be. So it's not just me reading through this page in camera and then starting the recording, but rather I do some reading and I do some writing before clicking on that button. None of this is from artificial intelligence tool, so I do have a script to keep myself in line, but it doesn't even have a grammar check per se. So if that's worth something to you, then no, it's going to be awkward from time to time, but it will deliver the meaning the way I personally think about it. So enough of that prelude. Here is interpretation of day 1. And there are several lenses we can take here after reading this first page. First of all, let's consider a framework of thinking in which each day we start anew. Each day that we are alive and fortunate to live in peace and breathe without fear of losing our life, we are gifted a chance to greet the day and to put more thought and intention toward our own identity, whether it's identity as a whole or some specific facets, elements of that identity, intellectual, spiritual, emotional, etc. Now, I like to think that each day presents a set of things that you know that you have to achieve them, set of goals you have to complete. And then you also are aware of the ways how you know you can achieve those things. So that's the planning and applying previous knowledge. But then also much about this particular day that you are given is unknown. And I don't know about you. Personally, this year, I'm actively reframing that unknown as the exciting part. But once again, I'm lucky to be able to do that, as once again, unlike my country, unlike my colleagues, my friends in Ukraine, I am very fortunate, very lucky to live in peace. So on the micro level, we can start each minute anew, or each hour. For example, if we are thinking about staying in the present, in a moment, being mindfully participating in some activity, but then we get distracted with something, well, at that moment we may have failed that moment, we may have failed that hour, but then we have the next hour to try again. And just to do a little bit better. And similarly, naturally, we can apply this way of thinking to the day, to the week, to the month, and to the quarter of the year. I'm not suggesting that we use that as the excuse to be irresponsible and to keep messing up, but as an opportunity to try again, but a little bit better. That's about the word "anew" from the day. But also this first reflection to me is much more about starting, making the first step, taking action, and making decision, taking the responsibility of being committed to daily self-cultivation, through which we individually will carve ourselves into the skilled human being who lives purposefully and that is capable of experiencing that deepest spiritual essence of life. And I'd like to add, as performing musicians, we have an ability and responsibility to deliver to others, or letting our community members around us to experience that deepest spiritual essence of life. And lastly, to me, this first reflection is about consistency, about consistently showing up and continued growth no matter what, no matter how good you are right now. It's about never giving up and never settling down for some version of a static state. I think this is quite a natural thing for musicians to think about, as we are naturally involved in the act of continued growth, or something that we call as lifelong learning. But if you think about everything organic, everything breathing that surrounds us, whether that's trees, bushes, animals, or birds, they don't settle to be what they currently are. They're always in progress for something. It's going to be next warm, it's going to be next season when the new leaves will come to the branches. So in the closing few lines, there is nothing to wait for. And I propose to think deeply about this line. The only state that will expect of us to be motionless, or to settle down and not work on ourselves, is the state of not being alive. Therefore, this is the moment of embarking. All auspicious signs are in place.